castle waits in silence. Its halls stretch into shadow. Its chambers echo with stillness. And at its heart, a figure steps inside. Not a knight in steel, not a scarred warrior, but a little witch, staff in hand, eyes wide with curiosity and resolve. This is little Witch Nobeta. From the first steps, the mood is clear. Darkness clings to every wall. Footsteps break the silence. The growl of enemies reminds you this place is not abandoned, but haunted. You are small here, fragile, and yet you carry power. Flame, ice, arcane light. At its core, Nobeta is inspired by Souls games. It borrows the language of the genre. Stamina bars, narrow dodge windows, bosses that tower over you. But it doesn't sharpen itself into cruelty. Instead, it opens the door. It teaches you. My time was on standard difficulty, and that's how it felt. A first lesson. How to pace myself. How to read a pattern. How to live with the cost of one greedy strike. Punishment came, but it came with patience. Combat is deliberate. Every dodge is a wager. Every strike a commitment. But the real heartbeat lies in the magic. Fire that sears. Ice that freezes. Arcane bursts that overwhelm with speed. Each spell reshapes the rhythm of battle, and mana always runs dry. When it does, you choose. Step into danger, staff in hand to recharge, or hold back and watch the moment slip away. That tension between safety and desperation is where Nobeta finds her soul. The bosses are where that soul takes shape. One sweeps with heavy strikes, then chains into ranged magic. Another scatters the arena with projectiles, cutting off escape routes, punishing hesitation. At first, overwhelming, but once learned, they yield. On standard, they feel like teachers, lessons disguised as battles. But outside those arenas, the game falters. The castle is not a world, but a stage. Corridors repeat, stairways curl into rooms that echo ones you've seen before. Molten chambers blaze without leaving memory. The variety fades quickly. You feel the scaffolding more than the structure. And the enemies, they often feel more like obstacles than encounters. The roster is thin, the patterns predictable. By the end, you are not discovering new threats, you are recycling old ones. It makes combat outside bosses feel hollow. Not oppressive, just empty. And sometimes the placement is unfair. Ambushes tucked just beyond corners. Ranged units firing the instant you step forward. not battles to learn, but traps to stumble into. Those moments don't teach, they frustrate. The story carries the same hollowness. Hints of lost memory, whispers of hidden truth, but told through familiar anime beats. A companion who explains, a heroine who reacts. It never breathes, never surprises. It exists, but it doesn't linger. And presentation reflects the same modest scope. Visuals that echo the Xbox 360 era, serviceable but flat. Animations stiff, characters broad. Even the performance, steady as it is, can't hide rough edges in movement and hit detection. The castle, the enemies, the world itself, they stand, but they do not inspire. Taken together, these flaws weigh the journey down. The castle, the story, the enemies that fill the gaps. They are scaffolding, holding up the bosses. They exist to frame the trials, not to be remembered themselves. And yet, despite it all, Nobeta still delivers on one promise: triumph, not despair turned to ecstasy, like harsher games. Something quieter, simpler, when the last spell lands, when the boss collapses, when silence floods the arena. That victory still matters. Looking back, I don't see Nobeta as a great game inspired by souls. I see it as a gentle one. For me, it sits in D tier, not because it fails, but because it feels more like a lesson than a legacy. It isn't remembered for its world or its story. It's remembered for its trials, for the bosses that tested my patience and my resolve, for the moments when mana ran dry, patterns shifted, and I risked everything on one desperate strike. That's where Nobeta found me, and that's where it ends.